Hi, welcome to this short introduction on TidyUp. Now during this video, I'm going to show you how to run TidyUp in your course and how you can use it to clean up your course files, how to basically tidy things up. So what is TidyUp? Well, TidyUp is an LTI which appears on the left side of your navigation bar and is only available to instructors, so your students won't see this tool. This is a great tool. It was developed by CidiLabs, and it scans your course for duplicate pages, duplicate images, and unnecessary files. It's almost perfect. One thing to be aware of, though, is that question banks cannot be scanned for file usage. And so you'll want to verify that files are not being used in question banks before deleting them. If you do use lots of images or files in your question banks, then contact eLearning about this. We can help you with some strategies around this. What we're going to do is I'm going to walk through how to use TidyUp in a course that was developed by eLearning. The first thing that I'll go ahead and do is I will run the Ally Accessibility Report. And I already have that set up here along the left-hand side menu in my navigation. So when we run the report, it shows that there's 428 total files in the course. By files, I actually mean documents, including HTML files, pages, images, assignments, and so forth. And then it also shows me low-scoring content that needs to be fixed, or I can choose to work with easiest issues to fix. I'll choose easiest issues to fix, and I scroll on down and I see that there's a bunch of images which are not accessible, and that's why there's the red gauge over there on the right-hand side. But the trick is, do I want to go through all the time to fix these images and make them accessible when many of these documents may not even be used in my course? TidyUp is going to help us to know which files we actually want to work with to make accessible. So to enable TidyUp, you want to go into Settings, and then within Settings, we go over to Navigation. We're going to scroll on down and we're going to find where TidyUp is in the menu here. And then we'll enable it by selecting the three dots to the far side of the title. And by the way, this is what you're going to do with the accessibility report as well. So any feature along the left-hand menu can be enabled or disabled by selecting those three dots. And then you don't want to forget to press Save at the very bottom of the window there in order for it to retain our navigation structure. Okay, well let's do this thing now. I'm going to go to TidyUp and I can select the Scan Course. Notice that I can scan all the file types in the course, or I have an option that I can do it custom, and I can select applications such as PDFs or docs, text, images, audio, and video. So I'm going to go ahead and select all. I'll scan the course, and it may take a few minutes. So at this point, you may want to run off and grab a bagel and some coffee or tea. So now that I've ran TidyUp, let's take a step through how this works. The screen here is showing just 10 entries, and I'm showing all file types. So I could show just unused files if I wanted to delete only those that I'm not using in my class. I could show only files in use, and for now I'm going to go ahead and select all. So there's a number of ways to filter things. I'm going to show as many entries as I can. It looks like that's 100 of them. So this is all the different file types here, the different documents. Notice here that I can look at the different folders that I have created, as well as the different content. And so for content now, I can show pages, assignments, discussions, announcements, quizzes, and so forth. And you can see which ones are published, which ones are in the module, and which ones have content. And so you may see some that aren't, don't have content, aren't in a module, aren't published. And so there's probably a chance that we don't need that. Great tool. This is so valuable. So I'm going to go back to my files, and I'm going to go ahead and step through this and start deleting things which I know aren't being used. But actually, before I start deleting things, what if I do make a mistake? Well, there's a way to prevent that. We can go over here to download the selected content. And so I can select all, and then I can download the selected content. And what it will do is it'll bring it in as a zipped file. Okay, so I've created a backup and now I can go through and actually delete content with more confidence. So I'm going to begin by selecting my unused files, and I can select these. I'm going to go ahead and select 3 of these, and then I can choose to delete them individually, but since I have a bulk of them selected, I can delete the selected and that'll take them out. Remember, it says that this can't be undone, so make sure that you back them up if you aren't sure of anything. But then also, files in use cannot be deleted. That's really useful, so that's one extra step to prevent things from being deleted if they are in use. Okay, so now that I've deleted all the files that were not being used, I'm going to skip past folders now. I'm going to go to the Canvas content. Actually, I'm going to check to see everything that is not published, is not in modules, and doesn't have content. Because if it doesn't meet any of those 3, chances are I do not need it. And then once I delete the unnecessary files and the unnecessary course content, such as the unused pages and unused assignments, then I come back to my Ally Accessibility report, I run that again, and look at the improvement. But the exciting thing about this tool is that it's reduced the number of files that need to be fixed for accessibility scores. Here's only 13 files rather than 150. And I hope you can see how valuable this tool can be for you and for your students.